Welcome to another UEN teacher tip. I'm Val O'Brien. Today we are talking about using Nearpod to create digital math manipulatives. Physical math manipulatives are a staple in elementary math classrooms, but have you ever considered using digital manipulatives? From fostering hands-on learning experiences to enhancing the visual representation of abstract concepts, digital manipulatives offer countless benefits for student engagement and comprehension in mathematics. Join me as we look at some ways we can use Nearpod to create digital manipulatives. First, let's look at some possibilities. In this activity, students drag out all of the objects. We have a limited amount. They will line them up and they will see which line has more. In this activity, students make 6. Any way they choose to. Here's another activity they have making 6, but this time they're using a 10 frame. Sometimes students struggle with fine motor skills and the drawing tool, even the text tool, might be a little bit tricky for them. In that case, you can give them numbers ahead of time and they can drag and drop those numbers, just like this activity. It's nice because then students are able to demonstrate learning without any additional barriers. Here we have number bonds and students will drag and drop the counters into the number bonds. Again, another way of allowing students to make 6. So you give them some options here and they can decide how they want to do it. We have greater than and less than. You can even use base 10 blocks. Students drag and drop. Here's another drag and drop activity with base 10 blocks. This activity allows students to make arrays. So students can drag out as many desks as they need. This question calls for 24, and then students will arrange them into rows and columns. In this activity, students drag out all of the coins and then they can represent how many cents in a couple of different ways. We have a 100 chart, we have a number line. They can also write an equation. Another coin activity, drag out all the coins and then represent the amount of cents. Now let's look at the settings. As you can see, all of the activities in the example were drag and drop activities. So you just come up here to add new, come down to quizzes and games, and you have drag and drop. You have a couple of options here. You can use images and students will drag and drop the images. You can also drag and drop text labels. Make sure to put the instructions up here. And as you can see right here, you can add a background. And so this is when you can have a T-chart like is preloaded here. This is where you would also put a 10 frame, or you can add the 10 frame as an image. Then it's time to choose the drag and drop objects. You can click on images, then click on add image. And if you have any images that you want to use, you can upload them from your computer, from Google Drive or other locations. If you don't have images, you can try Google. Let's search for a dime. Here's one. We'll click save. There are some sizing options here. You can choose small, medium, or large. If it isn't working for you, you can trash it. If you like it, hit done. And now you have this image in your bank and students can pull from. If you want them to have unlimited copies, leave this on. If you only want to give them a certain amount, then turn that off. And whatever objects you have here is the total amount of objects they have to drag and drop. I hope you enjoy using Nearpod to create digital manipulatives for your students. Thanks for joining us, and see you next time for another UEN teacher tip.